Welcome, boys and girls, to the EU8 tournament. This is the same. Not boys and girls. It's MA nerds of all ages and nationalities, of course.
That's right.
Welcome to the stream. This is the semi-finals for tournament EU8. I'm here, and I've been invited by Grim to come and co-cast. Thank you, Grim.
You're most welcome.
And you just got up. Sound like it?
No, I've been up for a few hours. All right, let's see who actually makes a merc. In this mode, you actually have to build your own merc, so there's a bit of a delay. See, this guy's already got 0.2 seconds of marauders, and this guy hasn't even started. Already got the PP.
I did. We did a little test run with Big E's and Raiden, and I did suggest maybe. So they've skipped. At the beginning, you have to you pick the mode, time, and blah blah blah. I said maybe keep the merc up if you can.
Yeah, the merc choice seems like a good one. Everything else is set in stone.
Exactly, because now you have to go into your CC.
I mean,
well, it's not a big deal.
It's somewhat of a deal if someone's got a much slower computer and just loads in 2 seconds or 3 seconds slower. It basically means that they're always going to not get their rocks first, which is a big deal in the next 4 minutes. If you've got tower control, there's no way of getting rid of it without losing money. So until 4 minutes. So it can be a big deal.
Meta has kind of changed in that respect, though, Grim.
Holding the tower is no longer meta?
Not holding the tower, getting early. I think Levy was kind of like a pioneer in that. He'll let whoever get the middle rock, the one on the actual tower. So he'll do his 2, and then he'll let whoever get that, and then he'll start, because he likes mass, so he's not going to trade up there anyway.
If you can get a good trade, you should. That's just a fact. If Levy's giving that up, that's Levy's choice, but that's not a good choice in my opinion. Anyway, for the players, guys, we've got Master Trade and the Legacy in the bottom left. We have Wonderthings and Lith, who's gone Zerglings. It's very unusual.
He's a Zergling.
His name is Zergling Boy. Oh, Zergling Lord. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Then we've got Yumpy and Feeko in the top right, and we have Fluffy and Archvile in the bottom right. My money would be on Fluffy and Archvile. Fluffy used to be one of the best players in the game, so he's definitely good. But these other boys have shown from the other brackets and the other matches we've seen, they've been putting in really good performance, especially Yumpy. Do you actually know who that guy is? Can he?
Yumpy, Jumpy. Oh, we call him Jumpy, of course.
Yeah, I saw in the bracket he was put down as Jumpy, and I was like, is that a typo? Is that his name?
No, it's I think it's how the Scandinavian tongue comes out.
Yumpy, okay.
Yumpy. So I think it was Big E's who kept going. Who the fuck? No, excuse the language. I was like, who the heck is Yumpy? You mean Yumpy? And he's like, yeah, it's Yumpy. And
Yumpy.
I'm like, okay, all right, fair enough.
So it's not Biggie's on a Smurf. That's all I really care about.
No.
Don't see any Biggies here.
He is good. He generally plays Lings as well. Because I've been in a lot of prees recently, and he likes to play Lings, but maybe because he's next to Zergling Lord.
Oh, here we go. Lings coming in. This is the most important part of this game already, is whether or not these Lings will pay off, or whether they become instantly feed. He did get in on the middle, and then instantly took the Guardian Shield, which is alright, but he had a big mass from all 3 entrances on his Ling Marine, so I don't know if that was a good trade. He's got 131 minerals for that, but of course his bounty was spread across the other 3 teams, so hard to gauge whether or not that was a good trade, but I would guess that's not. This, again, I would gauge is not a good trade, but the other thing to consider is you don't necessarily need amazing trades, because he's going to go Marine Tech. He's already got Stim, so he's already invested in that. And he'll be going into Marine Tech, skipping Elite, skipping Heroes, maybe a DT. That's kind of considered to be necessary if you're going to play this at a high level. Some DTs, like Reapers right now, are going to destroy Marine Ling, unless he gets a DT, in which case the Reapers will need to be afraid again. Oh, nice Reaper grenades there from Master Trade. Fed Wonderthings quite well there. Nice little engage as well there. Like, he didn't have the tower, so he didn't know the Reapers were coming, and he's got no way to get home. He could have pulled back from those grenades, though. That was a mistake. Reapers from Fluffy as well, so we got 8 Reapers on the map already, which very easy to farm with. Very hard to lose Reapers because they're so quick, unless there are things like DTs, Ravens, Oracles, even Battle Cruisers. Ghosts can take them out, but we're not going to be able to see these for a while. DT does come out, and it's not the guy with Lings. What the heck? Yeah, it's bottom left.
Yumpy, not Yumpy, Zergling or Lith, he likes to he likes to get. He'll have like usually by the 45-minute mark, he has incredible Marines. Literally, like you'd be proud of him at the 90-minute mark. And then he goes Dark Archon. So he will get a DT sooner or later, but generally, when his Marine tech is good.
Alright, we have got a Corruptor from Fluffy. He did this yesterday. Viking Corruptor on the same team, just blind. This is a very US MA thing to do, but I don't think Archvile is a US MA player either, and Fluffy isn't either, so I don't know what these Corruptors and Vikings are doing. Maybe they've decided that they're good at farming or something, but Reapers, Vikings, Corruptors, very early, skipping upgrades, and hoping to get nice trades. Yumpy kind of coming in there and eating Viking and Reaper shots. I'm not a big fan of getting huge surround by the Lings there. He wasn't holding his tower against a melee player, so this is going to happen. Like, Lith over here knows that he has no vision on his backstab, so Yumpy was just stuck between a Stim Marine Ling player and Reaper. Oh god, there's a Ghost, Vikings, and Reapers all in one mass. That's a lot of DPS that you just cannot contest with without your own elites or heroes. So not great trades there, I'm sure. Let's just have a look at the bounty here. Yeah, Archvile up at 1050, and he hasn't even got an upgrade yet. Oh no, he's got one. But he's got an Observer as well, against the DT and Ghosts of Feeko as well. I really hate Observers. I think they're too expensive for what they do, but if it works, you know. Archvile getting the EMP off as well.
I know someone who disagrees with you with that, but...
Is it Levy?
Yeah. Well, can we go back? I mean, I don't...
This is terrible. This right here is terrible.
You must know something about Vikings we don't, because no one gets them, especially landed. But the Corruptor I do get, because with Reapers, you do the Corruption spell, you slow down the retreating army.
And bomb on top of it, right?
And it reduces their armor and whatnot, or increases
it's like
the
damage, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. With the Reapers, you can get a lot of damage in.
20% more damage. Well, I mean, you can corrupt and then throw the grenades. That's a cheeky little combo, I guess. Yeah. Same with Master Trade as well. Similar composition here, just minus the Corruptor, Ghost, Reaper. Very good single target damage. So you're able to jump in there, pick something off and get out, and you've farmed a little bit. It's like a nice, almost a secure trade every time with the Reaper Ghosts. Because a Ghost is solid DPS as well. It's like a mini Reaper in terms of, or like a big expensive Reaper, I guess. 75 damage in one hit. Obviously the attack speed is a bit slow, 1.25, but you're always going to shoot something and you can just get out. So already 13 kills, for example, on that Ghost. And the same thing with the Reaper, 13 kills.
Yeah, a couple of Ghosts, I was chatting with Biggies, and he says, you know, they're actually decent farmers.
Yeah, for sure. They scale well with the normal Merc and Marine damage upgrades. Just and it's obviously a counter everything unit. So it's
See,
like there's the corruption there from Fluffy. Like he corrupts a bunch of Lings and they just walk away. It's quite an expensive unit, I think. It does give you high ground vision though, which is nice. And he's constantly having to micro it back because every time he A-clicks his army, his Corruptor flies forward, obviously. But yeah, Lith over here managing to, well, try to get some trades. He's up 900 bounty, and that's pure, right? He's got no risk of losing anything. But I will say this, he's got no supply. So even though his bounty's okay, he's kind of already fizzled out. This is as high as his bounty's going to be for a while. Whereas Archvile and Fluffy have got really good masses. Actually, not Fluffy, but Archvile still has a really good mass and is able to keep on farming with 4 Vikings and a Ghost. 3 Vikings.
The Wonderthings has, in the past, been compared to you.
Yeah?
With his, he likes elites.
Elites, well, I think
everyone...
everyone...
likes a lot of them.
Yeah, everyone will eventually, if they play this game long enough, they'll eventually get a good number of elites. Kind of like this here. You've got a really solid mass of elites with Ghost, Viking, Corruptor, Reaper. Like that's a lot of DPS. And Legacy and Trade here doing the same thing. Yumpy, on the other hand, opting to just rush straight to a support tower and Goliath. So he's got good Merc and sacrificing the early trades for getting his Merc up, and he's going to have a nice mass of Goliaths. Question is, will he be able to do anything with this mass? The other players can just avoid them until they have their own Mercs, and Goliaths are very bad at chasing, so a medevac is almost necessary for Yumpy. I don't know if he plays medevac, but being able to actually get on the armies and get into trades It's very necessary for him, especially he's got oracles on one side, he's got melee units, so medevac would be fantastic for Yumpy, but we'll see what he ends up with.
So if you're circling Lord now, would you, because Crackling's wreck Goliath, right?
No,
Would
not
you
really. Like, if they stand still, maybe, but like if they kite them, I think they're terrible, and he's gonna have the cliffs if he's smart. He
Well, if you got
recalls from his
there you
own
go. I mean,
base.
like, if you get an engagement like that, then you would be wrecked, right?
Absolutely unnecessary to recall that. He just needs to kite those lings. Like, what are they doing here? Let's just see if I can click on his Zagling. 11 damage, and it's 2 base armor, so it's already only doing 9 damage. And you could, if he really actually cared about Lith, which I assume he doesn't see him as a threat right now, he could just get 3 armor upgrades and just negate Marine, because both of these units are very low damage. 10 and 11 is what he's dealing with here, right? So it's very easy to armor cap Lith's entire army, which is why I'm not a big fan of Zaglings in pre-maze like this. We'll see though, if he can get really good engagements and just press the marine attack damage upgrade, it will work. Lack of DT is a problem there. You see, like, he just comes in and he just munches all of the lings, and without a medevac as well, Lith is going to have a really hard time farming. Wonderthings, he's going to have an okay time. He's got oracles and a ghost, so he's going to be able to poke and prod. But it looks like Fluffy and Archvile are going to take... Because they haven't even picked their mercs yet. They've got free reign to do whatever they want, right? They can pick whatever they want and counter the map. They can go air with their lead. They can go destroyers to counter the Goliaths. Just probably spam marines at this point. Like, there's nothing too threatening on the map. Yeah. It's why it's a very... it's a very sophisticated way to get a lead. Oh, the DT's coming in, killing a Viking. That's nice.
That's a bit shameful, as there's a ghost sitting there. But...
Yeah, the EMP just wasn't there.
Yeah.
He could have easily EMP'd that Mr. Archvile. And he's got an obs as well. Maybe that's why he just didn't expect his opponent to make that play. Because he's thinking, well, I've got an obs and a ghost. What are you going to walk your DTs in and just void prison the ghost? Apparently so. EMP lands on his ghost. Archvile gets away without getting EMP'd back. Here come the DTs again. This time, there's no EMP on the ghost now, so maybe they can make a play here, but... Don't want to get... Yeah, I don't want to get backed by top left. They don't have the tower. Anytime you don't have the tower, you just need to be sure you're not getting backed. So even just sending 1 marine to the elite shop, you know that there's not an army coming that way to vacuum.
Yeah.
And things like keeping a support tower with energy to recall, things like that. Wonderthings trying the new stasis ward ability. The oracles lost their get out of jail free cards where they could just always jump away and never die. So I backed that decision. It was a bit ludicrous before the oracles were so good at farming and then also could just get away from any threat. So now they at least will die to things like drops on medevacs and blinks with stalkers. Not as easy to get away from snipes, EMPs even. It's a little bit more reasonable now.
Still strong though.
They're still very good. That's the thing. Like they just didn't need to always be invincible. So good balance change there. I agree with that. Corruption coming down and the bombs. There you go. There's the combo. It's not the most overwhelming thing to get the Reaper grenades off. You saw maybe you got like 5-6 marines there, but you know it's something and it's free. So
yeah,
and the Corruptor's quite tanky, 750 health. It's pretty hard to kill. It's not a... Actually, you could one-shot that with the Ghost. That's interesting. You can just snipe that Corruptor.
You could do, yeah, most elites. But who's our man Andrew? He's another. He likes this combo. He likes Reapers and Corruptor.
Yeah, it's funny because Reapers used to be every game. Every single game we would play Reapers, and that was for like a year. And then they changed the meta a little bit and balance, and then Reapers died off entirely. I think Ravens are a huge part of it because before it was like, oh, you got a Reaper, I'm gonna make a Raven and kill all of them with one secret missile. I think GG, so.
It's true.
No one's making Ravens, suggesting they're not that great. And maybe that's why Archvile has Vikings. So if the opponents get a Raven, there's 3 Vikings or 4 Vikings to just snipe that down. Of course, the PTD would always just ruin that anyway. So, yeah, I think in the current meta, it just seems no one likes Ravens. Ravens might be bad. I can't tell. I have been away for a while, so Seems like
Raven,
Reapers are the way to go.
Raven's alright. People use them. It depends on the.
Here comes a snipe from Wonderthings on a Reaper. GG Reaper, 75 minerals. Why did he get 75? A Reaper's now 150
He got the
minerals.
corruptor.
He got the Corruptor. I was gonna say. Yeah, that Corruptor would be 150, that makes sense. But the Reaper should be 100. It'd be bonkers if they cost a full 600 for 4 Reapers.
Yeah, when you said he sniped the Reaper, I was like, isn't that a bit of a waste
sure?
of a snipe? No, I was going to say, isn't that a bit of a waste of a snipe when you want the
Corruptor. Yeah, well, I was even going
yeah.
to say that myself. I should have got the Corruptor, but then, yeah, he did.
It's like people who lash with an over, who lash a tank. And you're
Lash
like,
a tank. And like, thanks,
You're
my
like-
Odin is safe.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like decision making is like you got to conserve the energy and use it on the right units. Even if you don't get it there and then, the opportunity arises later, right? And surprised he has EMP then. Oracles you're looking at. He's on the
He
tower.
EMPs them. The thing about Oracles, if you get induction, it almost doesn't matter if you EMP them because they regen so fast. Yeah, Oracles are a kind of a poke unit. If ever you have an Oracle where you drain it because it's been attacking so much, you've won the game. Like, it's just so much damage from that. So, like, it's almost a unit that's bound to get EMP'd, and that's fine. It's a waste of an EMP if there's something else on the map.
And that's a nice surround, I think.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lith is trying. Let's check the bounties then. It's 20 minutes, Blizzard minutes. Archvile and Fluffy are mega ahead. At this point in the game, at 20 minutes, to have such a lead is huge. It doesn't look like much. At 1 hour, this would be an insignificant lead, but at this point in the game, this is an enormous lead. We've got Goliaths coming up for Fluffy, and Immortals coming up for Legacy. I think Goliaths soft counter Immortals. Maybe they even hard counter Immortals. In any case, they definitely counter Immortals. So
You
maybe
just
that's
avoid
why.
Just avoid the barrier, and you're all right.
Yeah, just walk away from
but
it.
if you have now with the new ghost change, if you have one ghost, Goliath pretty much counter anything Protossi, because the EMP just basically gets rid of all the shields, so you're effectively halving their lives.
Let's take a look. Yeah, 125 shields on these destroyers, so it's about 60-30 split between
Yeah,
2-to-1 split. So that's a very significant thing to do to an entire army, just to remove the shields off of that. And the Immortals get 90 damage shield, but that scales with HP. So that's also a 1-to-3, I guess. Yeah, a 1-to-3.
Yeah, that's why the if you're good with ghosts, you've got 2 ghosts, 4 lots of EMPs. You can really destroy it. Well, I'm going to say Protoss army.
Getting some sentries. He's had enough of these Zerglings. And he says, you know what, I'm just going to force heal everything. Feeko on the high ground gets a ghost with his ghost, and then it instantly dies. Random scan from Archvile looking for the ghost, I suppose. Manages to find it because it's on the high ground. The ghost didn't need to be as close as it was. It could have sniped that from on the low ground, and then it wouldn't have died. Bit of a misplay there, but it was a trade at least. 1 ghost for a ghost, no one loses money.
I've got a little random fact for any Arch Relay fans out there. He's playing double bass at the Eurovision Song Contest.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty impressed. I was
sick.
Like, are you Davey 504? I don't know if you know Davey 504.
I don't.
He's a really good Italian bass player. He slaps the bass, and both Italian. So I was like, but yeah, he's there. He's going to be playing. He can't give away what he's doing yet.
Wonderthings with the most obnoxious snipe just walks into the base and snipes a sentry.
Yeah, I have a huge soft spot for Wonderthings. He's charismatic. Let's say that he'll be in this tournament game, but he'll be playing for fun, and that's what I really like about him. It's to him, it's fun. He's like,
it should be for everyone. It's a fun game.
Oh yeah.
You would think that.
If he loses, he'll be like, I can imagine him going, bong.
Oh, that goes. Wait, Yumpy just shot his own sentry. That's what we just saw there. He accidentally A-clicked in the worst possible spot. It happens, Yumpy. It happens. Freeing up supply, let's say, feels bad.
Kind of suggest a little bit of lag, maybe.
Perhaps a little bit of lag, yeah.
Yeah, because I only ever do that when it's like it's heavily lagged. You click A somewhere, and then before you know it, your sentry's moved there, hasn't it? And you're like, oh my god, it's around.
This stim halfway across the map, it really hurts. Oh my god, that's lag. Please tell me that's lag. That was very painful. Lith is like, oh,
Oh.
I just move commanded my entire army. Oh.
Oh,
Sorry,
spaghetti.
Lith. Oh.
What's the counter with Marauders and Immortals? I feel like they kind of do well against Marauders do well when they don't have the shield up. But you know me and my.
I don't know the soft counters. It tells you the hard counters on the tooltip.
Yeah.
But neither of them do 32% extra damage to the others, so that's something.
Yeah, I just feel like if the shield, if the barrier isn't up and you stim in, I just feel like you get quite decent trades with Immortals.
The thing about Immortals is they're quite chunky model sizes, so you get quite a few, only like a few Immortals in the concave, whereas Marauders are a bit smaller, so you get more. And I imagine that makes a big difference, but yeah, the counter system is important. It will be 16% extra damage if one of them soft counters the other. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Grim with the numbers. He reads the tooltips. I don't. I get what I like. This unit looks good. I'm using it.
Yeah.
But you counted, Canny. I don't care.
Almost lost the DT there. Managed to get out. Nice. Reasonable kills on these DTs, 55 and 65. But overall, as I say, Team 4 was a shoo-in. That's who I would have put my money on. And hello, player 8 or something. 4.8k or 4.7, 4.4 for Archvile and Fluffy. That's a dominating lead. Kind of what you would expect. These players kind of play the old meta, the one that I'm perfectly used to is just 4 minutes by a bunch of good elites, figure out which ones are the best, which ones are the safest, play them out and get elite, and then counter pick everybody else and have a great time. Hybrid Destroyer and Goliath are pretty nice. Goliath's not necessarily the best fighting unit, like head-on with a lot of things, especially against Marines later on. They just suck. Their attack speed is like, what is it, 1.5? So glacial attack speed. But their anti-air capabilities and the strength of a lot of air units mean that it's very nice to just have Goliaths on the team. It's almost a support mercenary. You don't need to do well with them, even though Fluffy has. He's done remarkably well with his bounty lead, obviously. So like he's got Reapers, so if there's an Oracle or anything, generally it's a flying unit that will counter the Reapers, unless it's like an Infestor or a Ghost or something, maybe a Colossus. But generally it's an air unit, so Goliaths are really nice, just a defensive choice because of multi-lock, right? Like if Goliaths didn't have multi-lock, no one would pick them ever again. It's just unless they're playing Levies Voidries, in which case they don't have a choice. But you know, like it's just one of those things where being able to shoot up whilst you shoot down, fantastic. You know, and you don't have to micro it.
Have you seen Lith's rings? They're getting there. So
they are getting there. He's actually getting the trades. He shouldn't be, but he's getting good trades against Yumpy and Feeko, and he's getting some nice backs as well from Cross and such.
So it's generally like, as I was saying, by the 45-minute mark, he'll have really nice Marines, like even with health, and then he starts to get the DTs in anticipation of sudden death for the archon.
So that's, you're talking about Lith. I thought you said Yumpy was the one that gets the cool Marines.
No, Zergling Lord. He gets like,
okay.
As I said, by 45 minutes he'll have like stupid good.
So he adds the DTs in later? That's interesting. Yeah.
He'll have them by the, as I said, he tends to like, I think he wants good Marines by 45 minutes. I think he's got some sort of timing he likes. This is just what I've seen in prees.
Well,
and then he gets 2 DTs. I don't think he uses them much. I just think he'll put them there and then come SD, all these sudden death money, and then he just goes straight into the Archon.
I see, okay. So he doesn't want to mess around with the finicky DTs, he just wants straight for the chonky boy. That's fair enough. I mean, my 2 tournament partners, obviously Mins and Cons, both just like to play melee Marine, and they would always rush their DT. So that's what I'm used to, but if Lith's got his own recipe and it works, then why not? I just feel it's so naked. He's literally no elites, no heroes, just Marine Zergling, and Cracklings as well. Like, I like Zerglings as a choice and just going Marine because Zerglings are the best HP to the Merc ratio because they spawn so fast and you get a reasonable HP on them. And the overkill from everything is pretty big. There's not that much splash in the game. Like, there's Marauders, and then you think about like playing Goliaths or Phantoms. These guys are going to overkill a lot on Zerglings. So it's nice to just have Zerglings. Cracklings commit you to a Merc choice, And did he get this upgrade? Is there an upgrade that he's already gotten for these Zerglings? He didn't get the mercenary boost upgrade, but he did. I think there's adrenal glands on Zerglings that you can get on Cracklings. So I think he's committed into the things, because you'd rather have temples, right? They're just way.
I believe he does like him, because Yumpy also plays the Lings, and I believe like later on they will go for
temples anyway.
Temples, yeah. But who's it? Yumpy sometimes goes side. He will sometimes go Lings, temples, Goliaths, or something like that. He's got some of them have weird I don't know why. Like they suddenly see Goliaths on the field, and you're like, oh, I don't get that. but we'll see how this one goes. So yeah, I'm glad you answered that, because there is a lot of theory crafting on whether Cracklings or just basic Lings are better. So are you getting any upgrades on the Lings, like health or attack?
Unless it's just cheaper to get that than the marine upgrades. The Lings are just there to die, just to get in the way, wrap around, catch stuff. That's generally how people that I know used to play them. But again, if there's something that works, maybe Cracklings are doing extra good against Goliaths, and Goliaths are super popular. There's all sorts of weird reasons that people might be doing things. This Mastim is very painful to watch, though. He is not healing these Marines. So the ones at the back are already at half health, and he's going to have to keep stimming. Yeah, this is very painful to watch. Aye. He's just stimming non-stop. It's not free. It does cost, and there's no medevacs in this game. There's support towers, but it's always better to turn off healing. I think everybody makes this mistake. Let's see. Fluffy, okay, tell me Fluffy. Nope, Fluffy makes the same. Yeah, if you Chrono boost continuously, you'll spend the energy, and you need scan and recall as well. The healing from the things is absolutely worthless. Archvile just doesn't care anymore. He's not even Chrono boosting his destroyers. He's like, I've won the game. Whatever. We just wait now until sudden death.
Well, he's never at full mass as well, so yeah, he's like, what?
He's got his 0/0 Marines spawning as well. That's not a great thing. He should be Chrono boosting this and he's got a lead, so he needs to Chrono boost his lead, Fluffy, by the way, he's got such a lead, he's feeling comfortable with engaging destroyers with Goliath. So these destroyers are doing 32% more damage, right? That's a huge number for free against these destroyers. But Fluffy's got 4 Reapers in his army and a huge lead, and he's feeling comfortable to attack into his hard counter, because he just wants any trade. If you're ahead, any trade, right? You're lucky that they're not avoiding you altogether, and that's his decision making there.
Oh yeah.
Sano, thank you for
Poggers, even more Marine Arena. Semi-finals today, let's go. Komodo hype.
We got there. So Legacy, he's gone. Well, everyone's basically gone Merc apart from our man Lith. Wonderthings has started. He's Marines. As I said, Lith will have. He'll chuck on a bit more health than them, and then he'll be set to go with his DTs. I reckon. I mean, he may change it for the finals. I don't know. Yumpy's all 8 damage, 8 attack, 38 damage on his Goliaths. Does he have all the Merc House? He's got everything but multi-lock, but he doesn't need it. Feeko, 4 attack, 24.5 damage, no Marines. What's going on here?
Green is pinging to drop that. Oh no, he's just going to run in. He's just pinged, he's like, I'm going to run in there. VPs are down. If the VPs weren't down, that could have been really bad for Archvile. It could have been double VP'd and the army jumped on, but ended up alright. Okay, if Archvile does a Chrono boost, he knows this is why he's lost the game. He could have had like 100 more destroyers in this game. Aye.
I'm kind of intrigued to see if this will work for Lith, because as you said, melee is frowned upon in a pre. Not frowned upon, but it's not recommended, right?
It's not recommended. Absolutely. It's just you shouldn't be able to get the trades. He's done way better already than he should have by a long shot. And as I say, his bounty is completely clean. I will say this. If you're going to invest in Cracklings, why do you not invest in a support tower? I think objectively he would have been better off just to have Zerglings in a support tower and then the rest of the money into Marines. Like he could I think people underestimate the value of Chrono Boost. This isn't a macro game, but there's one element of macro to it, and everybody in this game refuses to use it. Yumpy, actually, we can look at the support towers to see who's either been scanning a lot or who's been Chrono Boosting properly, because they should be out of energy. It should just be non-stop. Fluffy's very good, and every time I look at Archfar's base, okay, he's got no energy.
He just did a recall though.
He
was caught.
Yeah.
So also, like, which kind of gets me, is because Zergling Lord knows those 2 DTs, which are doing the prison on his whatnots, and he still doesn't have it for the extra, just for the scans, even if he's not gone a Chrono.
I think, yeah, scan recall super valuable, and Chrono Boost is invaluable. You cannot put a price on that. It's such a huge difference. Like, if you put it in numbers, like, would you just want... So it's 50% faster production, right? So instead of 100% production, it's 150, right? So instead of 2 units, you get 3 units. That's great. That's amazing. You should do that. Like, if you just think of it as more free units, and all of the stuff you're investing, it's not like these guys don't care about their mercs. This is where their money is. Archvile, okay, he's got 5 upgrades on his Marines now, but they still have 65 health. They've got 1 range upgrade. He needs to be working with what he's invested in, and that's his merc. Fluffy opting in for another Corruptor now. He's gone back into 2 more Corruptors, in fact, because he got 1 sniped earlier. So he's interested in getting those up. Fluffy's also working in his Marines now with no range upgrades.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
He must like the corruption spell then.
Yeah, it's good. It's objectively, if you can cast it all the time without losing the Corruptors, then they're worth it. That was not. This is not great for Fluffy.
No,
he's just ahead though, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. It ends up alright. The Reapers as well. It's like 156 kills, and a lot of these, most of these kills are mercs because everyone's cancelled their Marines the way he's trading, right? So he's killing a lot of these Reapers. They're winning him the game basically.
No. Yeah, gonna put them in retirement home soon.
Check the game. Oh, actually, okay. Lith is on par with bottom right because they've lost stuff. At least a Corruptor. I don't know. Maybe let's check the Reaper kills. 170 something. He's only got 3 left, so he's lost a Reaper and a Corruptor, as far as I can tell. So okay, Fluffy's bounty, as high as it is pretty much clean as well. 8,600 bounty. And most of it's pretty much 8,600 bounty, right? Oh my god, they're deep. Remember, there's only 1 savior for each team here, for each player. So if they blow a savior on such a small mass, they're losing, what is it, 750 at sudden death?
Oh, these Marines, they're melting now.
Oh, here comes Lith. Good choice, by the way, on the Colossus, and this is the savior I was worried about. Terrible savior. I don't think it was necessarily necessary. It wasn't necessarily necessary, because they've got a Colossus in there and the Marines weren't going to kill it.
And the second one just popped out, so yeah, they would have chewed through it eventually.
Yeah, they would have been fine there. Feeko panicking a little bit. As I say, it's either 500 or 750 at sudden death. It doesn't actually say on the tooltip, but it's one of the 2. They changed it, so it's one of those 2. It's a lot of minerals. If you can just not use your savior, that's obviously ideal. What he got there was about 100 minerals, if that, with the savior, maybe 50, because he just killed a couple, like a ball of Marines, like 10, 15 Marines. So, like, yeah, definitely not worth it. Big hindrance on Feeko, who's already struggling, right? Feeko is not doing too well here. He's got 5.6k. Luckily, Yumpy, though, he's actually keeping up there. 7,100 isn't far off 7,300, 7,800. He's kind of hanging in there. So there's still a chance, and these Colossi, if they're not dealt with, and they're just allowed to chew, will hold towers, prod mid, and make it a living hell to try and contest any of these things. You need specifically anti-Colossus measures. So it's a really good choice until there is a counter, and then your ally needs to take over and pick up the slack. Feeko has got a ghost, so he can always go into support.
I'm surprised because team 2 and 4 now know, but they're 1 merc down. Well, Zerglin definitely knows. I'm surprised he's not going in there like.
He could just ram them one more time. The problem is the Colossi, I think, is the only thing that's stopping him. Wonderthings does have a ghost. Only +1.
I think he would clear that mass though. No Colossus wouldn't. They wouldn't be quick enough to stop all that. I don't think. Well, let's see.
There it is.
There we go. I don't think...
Guardian Shield.
He
Oh my god, he lost to Colossus.
Yeah, because they know
Guardian Shield. Please. Oh, they have no energy. Again, they're using Heal Beam, which is soaking up so much energy. And a Guardian Shield, that would have made a huge difference. It's 2 armor, right? Against things that are very low damage. 17 damage. You got... What did we got on the... Oh, he hasn't got an armor upgrade yet. Do you have an armor upgrade? Okay, 3. So 5 armor to 17 damage. That's a huge reduction, right? And at this attack speed, that's going to make a huge difference. Yeah, it's just little things like that that add up into a big game. And huge things like Chrono Boost.
So you've played like one-saving situations. Would you be looking... If you were like Zergenlaw, for example, would you be looking to go in there and make him blow the second one?
Yeah, I would probably just be dropping Yumpy and pushing in. He shouldn't be able to just run straight into their base because Fluffy is ahead and he should be backing that. Archvile now has a medevac, so he's thinking about pressuring top right as well. Probably heard the stream delay is over now, so he probably heard that Feeko has lost a savior and he's like, let's keep pressuring Feeko. And yeah, it's about exactly 3 minutes, Archvile, you shameless hacker. But yeah, obviously it's not going to be easy to drop into. 2 Colossi, 1 Colossus, a Ghost, and a Conqueror.
Oh, there we go. We have the Archon.
The DA has been called, but it's on the Legacy. So obviously ultimates, very hard to kill, huge impact in fights. Always going to be great for the team. Till a bunch of Novas are out, at which point it gets a bit awkward. Everyone gets a bit timid, doesn't want to leave their base. Big drop from Fluffy comes in. Did he lose the medevac? Seems to have lost the medevac.
Alright.
No medevac. Yeah, he lost the medevac.
Yeah.
That's fine. He's dropping into Marauders. He's doing 32% extra damage with his Goliaths, which do 40 damage anyway. So, you know, it's 52-ish damage that he's doing to these Marauders.
Trade's a bit naughty here. Is he not going cross to have a go at this? Is that not a bit naughty?
Oh, wow.
He lost his guys. But is that not generally, you don't concern yourself across, right?
I mean, you shouldn't. It's obviously, if you're the only one of a ghost on the map, it's a good idea to go across and snipe their things, because they'll never expect it, right? They'll be like, well, there's no ghost on my neighbors, I can walk around freely. Because it's a whole different perspective, a whole different feeling when you know that there's no ghosts on your neighbors and you've got heroes and expensive elites. You're like, yes, this is my time. And then you get sniped to the face by a cross and you're like,
But aren't you like, you increase your chance of being sandwiched then, don't you? Because they could have significantly weakened Team 3, right?
Oh, I mean, that's definitely true. Obviously, if you're worried about that, then yeah, if you kill that 2 Colossi and all of a sudden the opponents realize and crush them, then you've just shot yourself in the foot big time for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially with 9 minutes to go to sudden death, I think like he should have just well, I think he should have let it be. I mean, it's like you don't want, as I said, you don't want to be the sandwich, right?
That's true. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things to consider. If you're like, well, I'll be fine, I need the bounty, I might as well get this bounty for myself, that's fine, but yeah. Let's take a look at the bounty now that I mention it. Okay, someone that's actually doing something maybe. Alright, yeah, Fluffy is at 10,000, but Lith is on 10,000, and his bounty is clean, crystal clear. He somehow managed to keep up with people who have made really good trades all game and made elites and heroes and microed them well and done smart decisions. He's managed to match that with just good engagements with Ling Marine. So good job, Lith. Got his Marines maxed for sudden death. That's always what you're aiming for, is having double spawn, 6 range, max attack speed Marines by sudden death. Obviously that rarely happens unless you're having a good game, so most of the games it won't happen, but if you go just Marine Ling, you're almost guaranteed to have at least 6 range Marines of like +8 damage or something. But he's got 135 health on those bad boys, he's got 3 armor on his cracklings, and he's got 2 Phoenixes as well, so he's ready for hero play. He's ready for Archon, he's ready for Colossus.
As I said, Grim, you'd be happy with them Marines at 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's done well.
And he's got him at the 50-minute mark. He's it's his style.
I will say it's a lot worse when everyone has 2 saviors because the melee guy usually gets a savior to the face more often. But still, it's very easy to play around melee. It is like Maximus, for example, Millionaire and Amialkov. They both love this as well. And Cons, obviously. Melee, Marine, Cram, Ram, Smash. It is still a strategy. Just Smash, yeah. Fun strategy as well. You really feel like you're doing something. You're really aggressive in the face of your opponent. Always a fun play style. You see players, by the way, they've retreated into the side lanes because they want to secure the tower. If you can have the tower by 55 minutes and you can keep prodding and poking, you kind of teach yourself and understand what it is that's going to be the problem for taking the tower at sudden death. You don't want to be doing that at sudden death because it might take
what
you some
happens
time
when invis unit
bug? What happens when invis unit bug? That's such a good question, Lunith, that I actually don't know the answer to.
I think it's bouncy.
Just bouncy at the time?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, it doesn't usually happen. That storm was disgusting.
Oh, God, it was.
That was 74 kills. Yeah, beautiful. Right.
Oh, something went down here. What was that?
Ghost?
And a Phoenix, maybe? No, not Phoenix. Ghost,
Ghost,
yeah, Ghost, yeah. But yeah, that storm was... oh, God. I didn't realise he's got an archon as well.
Yumpy being very aggressive here. There's a Ghost on the high ground. He scans it. There's an observer for Yumpy as well. Levy would be very happy to see so many guys. Oh, Feeko's Reapers do the jump of death. This is some awkward piling that happens when you A-click and the Reapers jump from here all the way up to that ledge. They didn't even jump on the closer ledge. They jumped on the further one. So Feeko probably a bit mad about that. But that's a Reaper thing. Something you have to learn to deal with.
It's a Reaper thing.
Got these chibis, 117 kills on one of them, so that one's doing well for itself. One of them died, so that's why he's not doing as well.
Do you approve of this loss of mass just before SD, or
no? Of course not. No, you need your mass. Especially Mr. I want Chrono boost my compound, no matter what you do. Oh, he turned off heal. Good. Oh, and so did Fluffy. All right, that's more like it. Should have done this as soon as the support tower finished, but there it is. Does want to keep Chrono boosting though. He does have some supply in the medevac, so it's not as bad as it looks. But yeah, you need your mass sudden death, you need elites, you should be buying tanks, sentries, maybe a mothership, just to be super annoying and waste everyone's scans every time they want to see your army. PF, that's sort of the 6-hour mark, not the 2-hour mark. You know how it is. And yeah, that trade was delicious. See all those plus 12s? The Marines just destroy Goliath, so the Colossi need to be on top of those Marines or there isn't a fight, then you just need to run away. Phantom Marine, Ling Marine are all going to die.
Split that time, that was nice.
Splitting very good.
Zony Storm.
Oh, that's another good storm though. Yeah, these storms are going to be a huge problem for top left. We did have a Ghost, he just died on Wonderthings. Wonderthings has his work cut out for him because he's got lots of things to EMP, Colossus to deal with. So without really solid support, Lith is going to get splashed to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, it's just going to get destroyed. So they're going to try, as I say, you need to be poking the towers, trying to understand what it is that's going to stop you from holding your towers. And even though top left have a good bounty, 12,000 actually leading in bounty right now is Lith. Wonderthings is actually the lowest on the whole game, so that's pretty bad. One thing about that is it's very hard to actually play with melee marine. It doesn't add anything into the team game kind of element of the game. Like melee marine doesn't really help a slow ass ranged army like Phantom Marine. It just doesn't do anything. Like he's gonna run ahead at much faster speed than Wonderthings, and Wonderthings will bumble behind him, and by the time he gets there the fight's over. So that's probably why Wonderthings is doing so badly. He did manage to lose all 3 of his oracles somehow, presumably to the void prisms from the DTs. So that was his only real farming tool. That wasn't
SD
slow.
starts. Oh god, that storm again. This hurts.
Alright, so there's SD. And yeah, Fluffy and Lith are at that 12k mark. Archvile is very close behind. Yumpy and Feeko are actually doing like 9,000 to 12,000 isn't crazy, and you have to consider units loss kinetics. So it's a pretty close game. Other than Wonderthings, who is really struggling right now. And as I say, it's like whenever I have an ally that plays melee marine, it's medevac time. Then you can jump on the ledges and support from the high ground, or jump with the medevac behind an army as the melee units get hit the front or wrap around the side in the front. Then you can get a really nice like 180 arc or something on the army and actually be useful. But without the medevac, you're not really going to do anything for the melee marine, and the melee marine's not going to do anything for you. Huge fight in the middle. Oh my goodness, the archon goes down. How did that just die to marines? That's beautiful.
Did Fluffy get that?
Did Fluffy get that with a ghost or something?
It was lifted, but I didn't. Who got it?
It dropped down and it started walking away, and it looked like just 6 marines shot it and it died.
I'm pretty sure it's Fluffy. He's on 14k now.
He's on 14k now.
He had a lot of mass under it, didn't he? It could have been Lith. This is the problem. We just don't know. I wish the score would come up in the colour.
Could come up with a little announcement that says this guy just killed this unit if it's like an ultimate.
Generally, I try and switch between the viewers. Catch the
the
1000
color. Yeah. All right, so let's just have a little analysis of who's holding what tower. Big storm.
Big storm.
Juicy ass storm. So Fluffy going for Phoenix play and Archvile going for Nova play. That's a good combination. It's a purely anti-hero thing. So as long as you can consistently shut down all of the different things that will destroy your marines. So HT, Colossus, that's it. HT and Colossus, or Archon and Colossus. That's all they need to worry about, and they've got 3 good units to deal with that. As long as they can do that, they can hold mid a bit, because they've got a reasonable lead. Fluffy with 120 HP Marines, plus 11 damage. What does Archvile have? He's got plus 6 range, no attack speed upgrade, so he'll get there soon, because they're holding towers. They're holding 2 towers, and they're contesting mid. Yumpy managing to hold this tower. Master Trade managing to hold this tower, and poor Feeko, poor Lith, and Wonderthings, even though they have a good bounty on Lith, actually unable to hold towers, and this is going to be a huge problem. Temple switch, by the way, from Cracklings. So he went Cracklings and then he went Temples. Still not sure about that. Probably better just to get a support tower on Chrono with Zerglings out or something, get more marine upgrades and double spawn faster. Because double spawn, if you've got good marines, double spawn is a merc in its own right? You just increase your production based off of a really good scaling unit anyway, so you're pretty safe in good hands.
So for like the 2-hour format, he was on Zerglings, so it would have been better, because it is 2 hours, to stay on it, right? And keep the money from the temples, maybe? Because you want temples a bit later, don't you? Generally.
Yeah, the HP is the most important one, so like as a marine player, it's always good to get health upgrades, because Marines do actually scale well with health. They get 45 health to start with, and then they get an extra 10 per upgrade, right? So it ends up as a huge increase in health every time you get the upgrade, and they're quite cheap. So you end up just spamming health on your Marines and damage and range and weapon speed and double spawn. And then you can get temples when you already have a bunch of health upgrades on your Marines, and they get that maximum of 10 damage barrier.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
So that's 16 times you have to hit this temple before it dies. That is huge, especially against a unit like a Goliath, which would do 46 damage. Now it's doing 10. 16 times it's going to do 10 damage to a temple. That's huge, right? Like if you watch this temple die, okay, the Colossus is going to help because the Colossus will do 40 damage. But that's like 4 shots to get rid of the shields. That's really good. That's really valuable.
Yeah.
On the temple. Andrew says T4 isn't a problem with those heroes. Well, they've got Phoenixes, they've got a Nova, they've got counterplay. Medevacs are going to keep annoying this tower, make it very difficult for Feeko to ever hold it. Tanks as well positioned to shoot anything that's running down this ramp. Even this little side here, and very difficult to snipe or deal with these tanks otherwise. So Archvile's holding the tower. Fluffy's not even being contested in this tower and is able to push into mid. And Fluffy and Archvile are going to run away in bounty because of this. They're getting mad bounty from just holding the 2 towers in mid. And yeah, poor Lith, unable to hold the side towers. Lith is like, well, I'm going to hold mid then. A good trick is to run in with your temples at the time that you would get the money. Did they change it so it works differently now? Because you used to get money at the, like, on the minute mark, and then 20 second, 40 seconds, and then the minute mark again. I don't know if they change it so it trickles. Let me have a look.
You get it.
Yeah,
in
it's
the middle,
trickling now. Yeah, it's trickling.
Yeah, in the middle it trickles, and I think it's every 20 seconds on the tower, something like that.
Oh, in the middle it trickles? Okay. Well, I'm
looking
at Master Trade now. Yeah, it's just trickling everywhere. So yeah, before you would take the thing, and then you would just give it up for 20 seconds, and you come back full of money. And there was an interesting interaction like that. Now they've dumbed it down, sadly, but there it is. Can't all be tryhards. Double observer over here. Yeah. No, so that's one observer. Interesting.
So Yumpy's chibis are now redundant because of these two Novas either side of him. He's scared to use it. It's just been sat in the back of his base there for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, obviously the Nova is a huge threat. Could just be one lash. Obviously with a medevac, you go forward, you storm, and then you just run it into the medevac blind. You just run it into the medevac. The worst thing that could happen there is that he lashes the medevac and your archon drops down with half health. But that's not a huge issue. You can just go back. It's much better than getting lashed and losing your archon altogether.
Yeah.
Only +3 as well. It's not going to be able to one-shot the hero yet.
Yeah.
It's doing 6,200 damage to a hero, and we're talking about 8,000 or 9,000 health. So it's not going to die from one lash, but it'll be very painful.
Trade's doing your thing. He's got the medevac with his archon.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely, like, if there's a Nova on the field, you don't have a choice.
As soon as you, so I don't know if you stream those or anything, but you can actually see the lash. It's like a little whip.
Yeah, there's a little animation that you'll see.
And you've got like
one soon.
1 or 2 seconds to pick up.
Yeah, if your medevac is behind the unit that you want to save, it'll always live, and you have to lash the medevac at that point. You could, if you want to be clever, EMP the medevac and then lash, and if you can EMP the archon and the medevac, then that's extra good because you'll be able to one-shot with the lash. So all sorts of little plays you can make, but generally the medevac at least adds some chance that your expensive unit isn't going to just die to another person's expensive unit. Yeah, these are all great trades for Archvile here. He's ahead in mounts, he's getting his marines up, I'm sure. Actually, he hasn't got a marine upgrade for the past like 10-15 minutes, so that's interesting. Let's check the bounty really quick. That was 20 minutes ago. Well, we're on a delay, Mr. Andrew. Yeah, Fluffy and Archvile are just running ahead. PP, go to the corners.
They want you to retreat to the corners on pause.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's really stupid. Are you kidding?
No, that's they wanted. Well, I suggested just have a 5-second countdown so people can get into a reasonable position.
Yeah. No, because like I don't like the position I'm in. I don't have a recall, or I don't want to spend the energy. PP, you have to leave this fight, which I'm about to get demolished in. We're all going back to our corners. What's happening there? No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I just thought because basically you can PP and then someone's in the middle of a battle, like a very intricate micro move, for example. I don't know, lifting up from a lash in a medevac, and then suddenly they PP just as you're doing it. And it's hard to come back to that sometimes. So they're like, announce it, and then you know it's coming, and then give it 5 seconds, and then pause. I didn't know about going back to your corners though.
That's silly. Like now, no one's in mid. It's just crazy.
And no one has. I mean, like teams 2 and 3 have taken it literally and retreat from their tower as well. So...
That's really silly.
This is actually because you might have a nice entrenched position there up in the middle, and then you spent the last 5 minutes fighting for it, and you're all set up, and then suddenly it's like, no.
Go to unsiege your tanks and go home, boys. You're like, excuse me, I spent 10 minutes getting here. These observers as well need to go back to their corners. Your medevac, your doom drop needs to go back to its corner.
It's their rules, so But
there it is.
I didn't realise. I just thought it was like there would be like you request a pause, and then you count down 5 seconds, and then you pause. Which I think that's fair because, as I said, if you're in the middle of a battle, you can say, "Well, I was going to do a risky move," and then suddenly someone hits the pause button. You're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, there's obviously elements of surprise to this game, and if you like right now we've been staring at the minimap, maybe we notice a red dot on the minimap that we wouldn't have and be like, ah, a doom drop. I better get back to my merc compound and save myself. You know, like yeah, that's a questionable rule, but there it is. A rule is a rule. Everyone's following it, so everyone is equally bound by it. Yeah.
So what's happening here? They generally like at SD generally like to get rid of a team, right?
Yeah, you want to get rid of one of your sides if you can and sandwich the other person, especially if it's a good player. So if they could, team 1 and 3 could kill team 2, that would free them up to only pressure their towers in mid, one tower in mid, and sandwich Fluffy. So that would be really good. Unfortunately, Lith is doing a great job of preventing that play and helping Fluffy's team basically. Because killing him is a nightmare. He's got temples and marines, the two best scaling units in the game in terms of marines and merc. So okay, maybe voiders would be slightly more annoying. Actually, way more. Okay, if trying to kill Levy is impossible, let me just say that. But one of the most annoying things to deal with. I mean, they could get tanks as well. Lith and Wonderthings are probably thinking about getting second place. They're in a great spot to do that because they're cross from the team that's winning. So all they need to do is harass their towers, poke mid, and camp, basically. They know they're not going to win this unless something crazy happens, like a CC gets dropped or something from Fluffy or Wonderthings. No, the other guy, Archvile, sorry. Unless something crazy happens, they're going to get second place, and team 1 and 3 are boned. So they just need to play it safe and defend. And team 3 and 1 probably want to try and kill team 2 because they're not going to kill team 4. That's for sure.
So as bounties stand, team 4 through. So they just need to relax and just hold the two towers in the middle.
For sure. Yeah,
nothing. Make sure they can't be all in, or you know, if they are team, they've got sufficient upgrades and supplies to hold it. And then who's next? So team 1. So was it team 1? Yeah, 24 to 22, 23.
Oh, it's 25 on Wonderthings and Lith.
Oh god, so yeah, they're actually going for. So if Wonderthings can somehow scrounge a few archons with his Nova.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when you think about it that way, like the swing that you can get by killing an ultimate and gaining that bounty is 2,000, right? That's the net change. And that makes a huge difference to this bounty board because 2,000 in relation to 8,000, for example, that's a quarter of the value all in the time of one lash. So yeah, Novas can make the biggest difference this game as well. It's not over yet. Things can go pear-shaped for Fluffy and Archvile, but they're in a dominating lead, and I think they're in a dominating lead because they're just better, and they're less likely to drop that lead than any of these other players would if they had a lead. So my money's still on Team 4, but it's really crazy things can happen. Ready to go.
And the poor thing with Wonderthings, he's
oh, Fluffy's not here.
He's Nova's trash. It's got 1 damage. I don't know what's its lash damage. It's 5,400. What have we got in the Archons? I can't find any of them there.
5,400. I mean, that's actually precisely enough. It's 25 more than he needs to. If he can EMP the shields away and then lash, he can still kill that DA.
But the Archon is. I don't think it does. It still take all the shields.
The Dark Archon. I think it takes close to 100% shields. Yeah.
All right. The Archon is 6,400 health, so he's there's no way he's going to be storming that. But
so you just want the DA.
And I'd imagine he'll wake up and start making that lash proof. I think you're right. It's 5,300. Well, let's say 5,400.
Yeah, it's literally 25. So 1 health upgrade could be the difference between losing this Dark Archon and keeping it from a lash.
Yeah, and it's got.
Actually, does the EMP? It removes the shields and then it applies 300 damage, right?
Oh.
Or is it? How does that work? I wonder.
Well, it says it does 300 damage. Decloaks or removes 100%. I presume it removes the shield and then you EMP. To do the 300 damage.
Yeah.
But then again, the shield, you get like 1 shield back straight away, don't you? arguably.
You mean the regen of it? I mean, there's a time between getting attacked and when it kicks in, so you shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay.
It's units that will heal as they're getting attacked, but for a much smaller amount, obviously. All right.
Here we go.
Think we're ready?
And we're off.
So yeah, bounty-wise, Yumpy and Feeko are really far behind. And Master Trade and Legacy are also behind, but Master Trade and Legacy have archons, which make for much easier play. Managed to miss how Yumpy lost his 2 Colossi again. That's a huge investment. He's got 4 gas, so he's bought one as well. It's an extra 500. And you know, 500 is not a small amount when you already have his 10,000 bounty, so he needs to be spending his gas, getting his Colossus back. He's getting an Infester. No, you can't tech switch now. It's way too late. Go Colossus and defend yourself. You might win by elimination, and that's all that you can hope for. Tanks, Colossus, ghosts, turrets, maybe a mothership, PDDs on a Raven, sentries. Make it as annoying as physically as you can to kill you. Ravens with the magic resistance is actually fantastic, and I regret not getting them in my last game that I played because I was getting nuked to death. That's how I ended up dying. I just had 6 or 7 nukes.
Oh, we got a nuke.
This is what I'm saying. This is an easy way to end the game. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Fair enough, he tried to kill the... that's a Nova. So that would have been 1,000 minerals. And his army's trash anyway. So he's happy to lose that for the Nova. I didn't quite get it. I don't think an EMP would have made any difference. Yeah, he's got like probably 1,200 or 1,300 health left on that. So could have done 500 damage if he EMP'd. Not enough. 700 left. Could have actually scanned and sniped, I think, before the nuke lands if you're quick with it.
But we wanted the nuke, man.
Yeah, wanted it. Yeah.
We wanted. I mean, generally they.
Oh, an Archon went down to Wonderthings. So Wonderthings managing to get the Dark Archon, I presume.
And this is what we're saying about there you go. He's 9,400 now, just like that.
Big swings.
Big swings. And that's all you need. If you can get 1 or 2 more of them.
Oh man, Legacy also lost his. Oh no, okay. There was a Dark Archon that died. As we said, 1 lash able to actually kill it. Wonderthings listening to our tips on stream and deciding that. I'm sure he figured it out by himself, guys. I'm just trolling.
This is
Feeko
what
going for a snipe. No. EMP?
This is what Anders wants to see. He wants to see Team 3 getting Infestors and Colossus and whatnot. Because that's got to be where he's going to get his Nova work done, right?
Well, it depends how they want to play this. It looks like Team 3 has decided, okay, we're not going to contest Team 4 at all on their tower, which is a point of contention. Like, maybe they should be focusing this team, but they're so far ahead that anything that if they walk up this tiny ramp, they're going to get anything that walks up is going to get deleted.
I think there's pressure on Team 2 here.
Pressure on 2.
Storm, that Storm.
Good Storm.
Oh god.
Wonderthings has his Nova already, but as we say, he can't actually kill this HT Archon. It's got too much health, so these Storms are quite safe. Phoenixes, though, could lift. If he lifts and lashes, lift EMP lash will kill it. Big lag. Who is it? Master Trade. That's a problem. He's got a lot of micro ahead of him, so he needs to have at least some frames. Oh, he actually might drop altogether. Yikes.
I think if you drop your that's it.
Oh, is he back?
Oh, he's back. Yeah.
Thank God. All right, because resume from replay is going to be very painful here.
I'm not actually having any lag.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine here.
Yeah.
Just another nuke. Did he just nuke himself? Archvile. Shame on you.
He mistimed it, did he? Yeah.
Okay, so you need to nuke, and then you need to drop, and you either pick up your units, or you nuke so far ahead from over here that you can not lose your army. But he hadn't managed to just nuke his drop, which is a bit sad, of course.
It's actually quite a bit of nice timing to do that. Like Dallas, for example, is really good at doing it.
Yeah, it's a good way to end the game. As I say, Ravens with PDDs of the magic resistance one will be able to stop the nukes from doing much damage at all to it. You can actually tank nukes with your army, which is pretty crazy. It's like 66% reduction or something, and like even here a fungal, just a small support unit, like even one Raven, the buff stacks diminishingly, so it ends up at like 90% magic resistance, but like storms, fungals, And PDDs work against things like destroyers as well. So the actual PDD value is insane. Okay, he saw that. Feeko saw this on the minimap and made no reaction at all. And Yumpy as well is busy somewhere.
Relay with the
nuked.
nuke.
Oh, Yumpy seems AFK. I think Yumpy's just straight up AFK. Yeah, he was. I don't know where Yumpy was, but he wasn't playing the game. Okay, now he's back. His ally's dead and his army's gone. That's it for Team 3, which basically secures the win for Fluffy's team because he's now got no pressure, and Team 1 is the one that's sandwiched. So.
This is going to be
actually managing to come in and take the prize of the Goliath compound and the command center, and the turrets are pretty good money too. 75 minerals, why not? But yeah, now it's a free tower. So.
But look at Andrew, the position he's got there in the middle, and the tower. He wants it. So yeah, what happens now then, Grim? Hey.
Now, well, I guess Fluffy could decide that he doesn't like Lith and Wonderthings and kill them first, or he could kill Team 1 first. He's got a choice. It's absolutely his choice, and there's a bit of a problem with elimination because it's hard to say for sure that they did that, and we've already had a bit of that drama, obviously, because
Biggie's and Levy's group, who they chose. Yeah, is that what we're...
I don't remember, but yeah, like it's just a problem with elimination, obviously. But Team 2, by far, the greater bounty with, what is that, 30... That's 22 plus 11. That's 33,000. Team 1 is 28,000. So 5,000 lead on Team 2. I mean, that's not huge either. So it's not like you say, well, Team 2 deserves to win. But with the position that these guys are in, stuck between the other two players, both greater bounties than them, they're going to have a really hard time ever taking their towers.
I like what Vilay's doing. He's going up there and he's trying to take the 12 o'clock tower. That's good. He wants to make sure he gets all the money.
Yeah, why not? Deny the bounty. Actually, this is interesting. So the Legacy, Team 1 has got their tower and they're not being contested by Wonderthings and Lith. What this is saying is, let's kill Team 4 together. We're not going to contest this tower. You can have a bit of money. And with that space, where these guys don't have to take this tower, they can focus on taking this tower and prodding mid with their very expensive, very powerful units. You see, Master Trade didn't get the memo and walks up and storms Lith, even though it's very clear that they're deliberately giving up this tower. There's no no contention at all on this tower. Legacy needs to understand that, and this is where...
There you go. Anders is like, well, in that case, I'm coming to get it. He's thinking about it.
Exactly, and we're talking about a guy with a Nova as well. What they did, Team 1, and giving them that space was saying, listen, we're not even going to lash your Novas or your Archons because you can actually use those to harass Team 4. But if you're going to do this, then Team 2 has no choice but to kill Team 1 and claim their second place. Actually, yeah, it makes no sense for Team 2 to help Team 1 here because they second place gets through to the finals, right?
Yeah. Second.
So... Or they need to.
But they may be, they may be playing it right. They may not be going second gets you to the final.
Two things just died for 1,000 each. What? 2 Novas? What was that?
Oh, here you go. He's getting his Archon now.
2 Novas just died.
Really? Oh god, yeah. Look, I think Team 1 are going to go. They will know that, won't they? These storms are vicious. They are sick. Everyone's a money shot, right?
Yeah. I'm struggling to get into the headspace of these players and understand what it is exactly that they're doing. I understand that Archval is trying to contest this tower because he wants a bit of extra money, and that's never a bad decision. Fluffy's going to get a huge fungal here. Very nice, 150 kills. Bam. Wow. Deleted those Marines. I mean, this is the problem. If you are a unilateral player that will refuse to play heroes and elites, you're going to die to players that can also play Marines, but also make a splash unit, like an Investor or an HD. You're always just going to lose to that player.
This I like now. Now we've got the ultimate sniper.
Yeah, that's much better.
You do the Maelstrom on the ultimate, and then hopefully Wonderthings follows up quickly with the Lash or the EMP or whatever. That's a really good way.
Big lift.
Big lift.
I can't see what's happening.
It's all right.
It died?
No, it's fine. The Phoenix or whatever it was, not Phoenix. There was something else in there. Unless there was 3 Phoenixes.
It lived. I lost vision of it entirely. 1,200 kills on that archon. This is the difference. Even though they're both archons and look similar, one of them can kill 1,200 things, and the other one has killed 29, and is literally just Yuri's barrier, Maelstrom. Okay.
Yeah, they changed it. I think in honor of that girl. I'm not sure.
Yuri Leia, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, this is the meta at the moment. The archon. Well, look at the damage it does. You're like in prees, like 2-hour prees, you quite easily see a 3,000 kill archon, Grim.
Yeah.
3,000 kill archon.
That's the money. That's the good one. You had to argue that wasn't worth it. Always a good choice. If you can keep that bad boy alive, and it's not that hard because look at the HP scaling. It's got 5,400 health, and he hasn't upgraded his health in about 10 minutes. So. I mean, we could look at the bounty guys, but it's not really going to be much of a story. Archvile and Fluffy are still really far ahead. Lith is still far ahead, and everybody else is struggling. And obviously, these aren't clean bounties. Doesn't account for -1000s, which every player has had a few of, except for Lith, who has refused to make a hero up until this point. And here we go, Dark Archon joining the fray. And you can feel it, like this team needs a little bit of sauce in their army, a little bit of spicy. Nice pick up there, because got that Nova running around. And yeah, Team 1 and 4 are gunning down Team 2. That seems to be what's happening here. The Envy boys are getting sandwiched and bonked, even though Team 1 is in the sandwich position. You can see Fluffy is poking here just a little bit. He's probably full supply. He's completely full supply, and he just wants a trade of some sort. It's not a good one, but when you're holding 3 towers in mid, doesn't matter. Just any trade's a good trade.
Yeah, look at that. There's just total dominance at the moment. 3 towers mid. Just see it through, right? Let these two fight it out. If they want to. I do like Wonderthings does have 3 nukes. I presume they're going to be defensive nukes when he inevitably.
Oh. What happened? What did he lash? Did he lose vision or range of it? He
did it
had
blink?
a scan.
Did it blink?
No, it's a HT Archon.
Oh, he picked it up then, didn't he? And he's
no. Oh no,
yes,
maybe he did blink. Yeah, he did blink.
He did blink. He blinked the DA, and then I think
HT Archon's at full health. Yeah. Here comes a storm. Maybe anytime. Feedback storm. Okay.
And they run. Let's not forget as well, the Archon also has a feedback ability, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So that will deplete all the Nova's energy and other Archons. Well,
Fluffy's not actually holding mid. You can see the square isn't pink.
Yeah.
Even though there's units on it. It's annoying. You have to click on the beacon for a while until it turns the right color, and then you check on the mini-map. And then you can just leave 1 unit on there, which is what Fluffy did earlier. So he understands. But he probably assumes he won the game. Fluffy's just sat on full supply.
That storm on Team 2. This is
Legacy wants to do a doom drop of immortals.
I think because we look at the bounty, I think they probably want to get rid of. They have to get rid of Team 2, don't they? They're not going to touch Team 4.
Yeah, there's only 2 ways that this game can go. It's Team 1 and 4 grouping up on Team 2, which is exactly what is happening, or it's Team 1 and Team 2 grouping up on Team 4. But that endangers both of the weaker teams about not getting second place. So Team 1 has probably made the smart decision of trying to secure their second place. Void Prism.
So the nice thing is, like, Team 4 will find it hard to go in on Team, either team, because they got Storms and Maelstrom, and then Wonderthings has Nukes and Maelstrom.
Fluffy just lost all interest in playing this game properly, and he sent like 2 Marines to harass over in the bottom left. In the bottom left corner. That was what he decided to do with his time. He just attacked like an immortal from the high ground. He's like, this game's over, I'm just gonna troll. I love that. Little things like that. I can tell Fluffy is not too serious right now. He's just trolling around. You're looking at the bounty, what's gonna happen.
Oh god, that Maelstrom and Storm there. This is I don't know if you want to be poking the bear, Grim.
Yeah, I don't think that Team 1 should touch Team 4 at all. Oh, double Phoenix, because as I say, this is a terrible play from Fluffy, but he's completely just relaxed. Saving his energy for the finals, you know, it's just sometimes what you do.
And that's going to be the next game, best of 2.
And something I'm working on a lot is just not giving up when I think I've won, because you end up losing and it feels like just you've been robbed.
You've been robbed, man.
Yeah, Team 1 is just, they've understood. They need to kill Team 2 and pray that Fluffy doesn't decide to kill them first.
Can they hold on for half an hour though? I feel like it's Team 1 has to hold on for half an hour. And then you never know, Team 4 might decide, you know what, let's take matters into our own hands and get rid of blah blah. There's always that.
I think that the biggest issue here is patience, and if Team 2 can hold in for long enough for Team 4 to get annoyed at how long it's taking to win the game, they'll then divert their attention to Team 1 and be like, let's just end this game. Because there is a resource here that's being taxed, which is Fluffy and Archvile's energy. It's in their best interest to end the game as soon as possible, so that they're feeling better and fresher for the next round, right? Because it's going to be a long day.
Oh god, these storms, they're not going to like that. They're not going to like that.
They're not going to like this. They're poking the bear, as you say, Kenny. They're absolutely antagonizing. Lost their archon, so that's reduced the amount of pressure on Team 1. This may well be what causes them to not get second place. You know, it's things like that. It's all about decision making and player psychology right now. Tanks are coming in. Archvile, though, he didn't get stormed, so he's thinking, nah, I'm still angry at Team 2 for some reason, let's kill them.
He just wants that power.
Fluffy should just try and end the game and kill Team 1 at this point.
Secure his place, right?
They've killed their Archon, so like they're weakened. This is as easy as it's going to get for a while. They might as well kill the Archon. It's 3 minutes that it takes to rebuild the Archon. So for the next 3 minutes after killing that, you're thinking, let's just kill Team 1 and the game. Be ready for the next one.
He's going for a queen for sure. He's got 2,000 saved up. So I think he wants to do it in style. He wants to get his queen. Dot the I's, cross the T's, Grim. Let's do it properly. Send a message out to the other players. We're back.
Yeah. Now, Fluffy definitely needs to think about being ready for, because like he's won this game, but in the other bracket, their winner might win it in 40 minutes, and they're going to feel much more ready for the next game than Fluffy is, who will be exhausted after 2 hours of Marine Arena. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be mentally taxed. It's impossible not to. It's not like other games where typically in a regular game 40 minutes is considered a long game. This is probably going to hit 2 hours.
There we go. Drop Team 2.
Drop coming down. Void Prism, it's a Nova stun as well. It's just feeding. It's just feeding.
Oh,
EMP on the HG manages to do something with it. Blink away. Okay.
Well,
He had his medevac there. But...
He can move up the ramp now. And get
feedback on the Archon, and then a huge storm. Beautiful. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well,
I think Lith is too aggressive here. He doesn't want to be like he just got stormed there. He doesn't want to be losing mass. Let them drop. Let you stun and void prism the army and just eat an entire army of immortals for free. That's fantastic. But losing your supply like that, Lith's on 300 supply now. He could have been on 500 supply if he made a few different decisions. Small mistake there. Fluffy now going for that Team 1. So they've actually just divvied them up equally. Fluffy said, I'll take Team 1, you take Team 2, Archvile, and whoever dies first, dies first. That's fair.
It's like they're the sheriff in town. They're like, boys, stop fighting.
Yeah. You guys don't fight each other. We'll keep you busy. If you have to fight someone, you fight me. A Hellbat Master Trade comes in with the Hellbat. These things, 120 damage. That's crazy. Actually insignificant. I love it.
What's he gonna do?
Clearly a misclick. He meant tank or something. I don't know.
Unless he just walks it into Team 2 and they can't kill it. I don't know.
Maybe he wants to drop it. The Hellbat drop. The 1 hour, 40-minute Hellbat drop. No, it must be a misclick. There's so many useful things that they could get from that shop right now. Raven would be my #1 priority, and then tanks, then Sentry. Sentry because it's just super annoying to attack someone and they force field you out. And you're like, oh, I guess I'll just wait until that expires. It doesn't matter how much bounty you have. It's a Sentry, it's a force field, you're always going to be super annoyed. Medevac, okay, he wants to be aggressive.
So, all right, Graham, I'm going to put you into Team 4's position. Right, you know the players. You see who would you be looking to get rid of? Well, you said you would want to get rid of Team 1 now, yeah?
Now they both have their archons up, maybe I would just sit and contest the towers. And if they overextend like they did before and lose their archon, immediately execute that team. That's it. That's all there is.
Archvila's melting up there, though, to these Marines.
Otherwise, this is a tournament. I would play it very safely. Tanks, Ravens, PDDs, sentries, take this tower, hold 3 towers in mid, and keep poking at the 4th one when they give up on trying to take the towers, which they inevitably will. And then just armor cap them. That's the easiest way to win the game. Just to spam the armor upgrade until their units do no damage to yours. That's the safest way to win a game of Marine Arena.
So the question is then, if I don't know, I'm going to try and see who's good teams. Say you had 2 really good players you thought were a threat for the tournament. Would you take them out, right? If they were in Team 1, for example.
Yeah, I guess if I wanted to make sure they don't get through to the next round, I might take them out. But to be honest, it's a tournament, so I wouldn't. I would just play it as safe as I could. That sounds like a huge risk. Trying to take out a team that I respect and think are really good, that sounds like a huge risk, right? Like,
well, even if what I mean is in this position.
I mean, yeah. At this point, there's almost no risk. You would just eliminate the best team for sure.
Yeah.
You just would.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's just what the tournament lends itself to, right?
Yeah, it's not. I don't like elimination for that reason. I think it's the best you can do. It's just Marine Arena that you can't avoid this risk. Doing it by bounty, is also silly. I mean, yeah, bounty inflation would be a huge issue if you did it by bounty. Like 3 BC opener would be really sick.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like Team 4, we don't want to cause drama. You guys sort it out between you. So just don't. If you storm us, though, we're going to hurt you. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're like the marshal and sheriff.
Yeah, they're playing it, as I say, the safest way. They could probably just. Thing is, they might not. That's the thing. Archons are so strong, regardless of bounty lead, that they could still lose if they just overextend and get stormed and avoid prison to death. So even if you're in such a huge lead, and believe me they are, 35,000 to 13,000 on one of the players, 15,000 on another, you still have the Lith with 30k somehow. The bounty is actually factoring in the towers, but Lith is still holding in there with the power of marine temples. Now the drop compound goes down, not a big deal.
I think the deciding factor could be if he still has it. Yeah, he's still got his 3 defensive nukes. I think
laggy nukes.
I think once we hit into the 10-minute period, I think possibly Team 2 will could possibly do it because of the 3 defensive nukes. I mean, that's going to take out an army, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, presuming it doesn't get hit.
Yeah. Or
sniped or whatever. So kind of liking Team 2's position. Yeah, look, so he's gone Zealots now. He's just getting lots of bounty from that Lith. His Marines are still hella strong. But I think the bigger threat, and I don't know why he's messing around with Arch Relay, the bigger threat is there on the Western Tower, right?
Yeah.
Wonderthings
is really struggling just to get bounty. That's the only issue with the game for him, for Team 2.
Oh, they got a ghost.
That's just a ghost, yeah.
So he's like, I don't know why he's wasting mass on Relay at the moment when his allies under an immense pressure. He's been dropped. He's got a Dark Archon and an Archon just pummeling him non-stop. There you go, this is better. I think he should be here. Definitely wants to pull the Marines back because he needs them. They'll get stormed. As we've seen, he's not very good at dodging the storms, is he? What do we have in the middle? We have 2 sentries, nice. We have a Nova sitting there, 2 tanks, an Infestor. Fluffy decided I don't need it, I just put my money elsewhere. He has 6 Marines, this Fluffy. Look at his Marines now. He's even got heroic damage on them.
I think I would strongly favor Infesta HT when you're in a huge lead like this to a Queen Festa or an Archon. Because the interaction's very the same, right? Like you get EMP'd, you lose all value on your unit. You get lashed, you probably lose the unit. Or you jump into a medevac and you save it. So you kind of get 2 lives for your spellcaster if you split it up into HT Infesta. Right. So I don't hate the decision to keep the Infesta. I would just add in a HT as well and just say, well, now I've got infinite amount of splash damage and you can never attack me. But at this point, I would just start hitting the armor upgrade for Fluffy, and that's what he's done. He's got 8 armor on his Marines.
Oh, okay. I do like, I'm with you, I do like, because I watch a lot of pre's, and generally, if you can just hit, well, first of all, if you're EMP, as you said, it's zero value. But if you can hit one, like, money fungal or a couple of decent fungals, and lose it, you've paid for it.
Yeah, especially at sudden death where mass is more important than the trade, because mass means that you'll hold the towers.
Yeah.
Like, if you can just get rid of 50 Marines with your Infestor and it dies, that's just brilliant.
It's so cost efficient. It's
Even though that's 150 minerals, 50 Marines, it's still really good.
Yeah, it's super efficient. Well, we've got to hit the fungals, of course, but
yeah, I mean, this thing's got a very generous amount of range on the fungal. So,
oh god, what is Wonderthings doing? Let's have a look at the bounty. I don't think he needs to be up there, right? Unless he's baiting. He probably wants to get one more, if he can get one more ultimate, then that'd be really nice for his bounty, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's come to the wire. Go on, Grim, do the maths then for team 1 and 2, please. Oh, we've got 42,000 versus 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Actually, it's more like 45 to 46. Very similar.
All right.
Yeah, they got like.
Is my maths that bad?
Wait. Yeah. 43.
The top one.
Yeah, 43.
All right, and Archvile and Fluffy single-handedly beaten both.
Yeah, then one of them had the bounty to beat them. Yeah.
One of them is just like, and they're not doing anything. They're just literally sitting in the middle now. I mean, like, I wonder if they are just doing like, you know what? I don't want drama.
By the way, mistake on Fluffy to get armor on his Marines instead of on his Goliaths.
All right.
Just 10 armor on Marines on 270 health. Like, the thing you're going to armor cap them with first will be your Merc, so you get the armor cap on that. And then their Marines deal no damage to your Merc, and it's just great. Like, they're shooting into the line of Goliath Marine, and half of the damage just isn't there because the Goliaths are tanking everything. But it doesn't matter, as I say. The more important thing ahead of that is just holding their position, which they're doing patiently. 2 hours is about to hit, and the bounty's going to matter, so we'll see what can happen. It'll be funny, at 1 hour 59, they all need to just send their mass out and try and trade out as much as they can to make a couple of thousand bounty, you know, just try and get ahead, because it's very close. It will be done on bounty, the second place here.
So. Well, I'm hoping, like, in the last 5 minutes when they do 1 each other, I'm hoping Team 4 just F2 all back into their corner.
Yeah, that's true.
we want to see the YOLO, boys. I mean, I'd be tempted, you know what? I saw the drama yesterday. I don't want to be the deciding factor. Screw that.
Yeah, exactly. 44 to 47.
Are Team 1 sitting back too much now? Team 2, sorry.
So it's a 3,000 difference in bounty, and there's 7 minutes to decide that 3,000 if they can catch up.
Do you like what Team 1 are doing? Trying to get the money from the middle, trying to engage. Do you like that? Or there's the nuke for the stream. It's gonna hit. Yeah.
No. Actually, nukes are very smart. He should just be making nukes non-stop now and throwing them out, because they cost a lot of money. But if you can get a couple of 100 or 100 every time, then that's going to make a difference in the, in the end of the game, in the bounty. So
the only problem is these nukes are 525, so they're not doing very much.
Lith could actually doom drop Archvile, or Fluffy maybe if he can wiggle in, but he'd need to scan ahead, and that would make it really obvious.
I don't know if I'd do that because then I think they'd send all their mass on them. Not that they needed to.
Possibly.
Not that they needed to, because they could just sit there. Because don't forget, even if your ally dies, you still get combined bounty.
Yeah.
So they might just say, well, okay, in that case, I'm just going to sit in the middle. It depends how hot-headed or petty they want to be. But no, I think they would. I think if that happened, they'd just sit back in their base, defend that 1cc.
Got the medevac there. Nice clean 100. Team 2.
Right, here we are, last 5 minutes. This is where it's all going to happen now.
Team 1 is ignoring Team 4. Yeah, they are. Well, what trade are they possibly going to get? Being down at best 15,000. Master Trade actually managed to keep up in the bounty. I'm impressed. Like, the storms. Yeah, the storms have just been keeping him up. He's been getting monstrous storms.
How many? Oh, 7. So he lost one. Oh, yeah, of course
he did lose the archon.
Yeah. And there we go now. He's going to go and storm. Alright. Okay, so one's going on Fluffy, one's going on Vile. Vile's got the 2 sentries, so he's blocking out the temples. Do they have drop? Is that it? They have no mass on Team 1. What's happened to it? Oh, I think we might see a finisher here. Someone's going for, unless they're just going for all the heroes. Flexing, do you reckon, Grim? You've got 2 Ultralists sitting there.
That's just a precaution, I guess. A flex, yeah. Just I'm gonna have armor on these bad boys. I don't know. This is just trolling, I guess. Just griefing a MA tournament match.
So Legacy they have very low mass, Team 1. Where did Legacy's mass go?
Legacy just has 200 supplies. Marines have been cancelled. His Marines are fairly useless. He should have Marines just to make it look like a bit less killable, because this army right now is one A click away from dying, you know. So
yeah.
Wonderthings switching into Zealots, going for that temple upgrade, no doubt. He has no money for it though. Yeah, they just need to be thinking about getting bounty. I would do that via nukes mostly, but because nukes are nice because you can get EMP'd on the Ghost and the Nova, and it doesn't matter. Like, you're still going to get the nuke off. So
I think he wants to hold on as long as he can, because you want him more defensively, I'd imagine, in this situation. Because you never know, Team 4 might decide to have a go, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, like, yeah, you'd like to go in and start nuking around everywhere. And then, before you know it, you nuke Team 4 and they're like, well, screw you.
Yeah, it's actually quite funny. So I think the idea for Team 1 was let's kill Team 2 and win by elimination. But Lith and Wonderthings have defended well, managed to hold in there, and are going to win by bounty. Just mostly because of Lith, obviously. He's got such a decent bounty for his position of not having towers or mid. To be able to hold in there is just fantastic.
Poor old Lith. He's going to have a sore back in the morning.
Yeah, he's been carrying hard. He's going to have to play another match again. He's thinking, do I really want to do this a few more times?
Well, if they go through another 2.
Misses, Storm hits. Yeah, unfortunately, Legacy is just not bringing anything to the table right now. He doesn't have any way of damaging. They're pinging. What are they pinging?
I think they're going to go for it. I don't know. They're like
25 damage Marines, 300 health, 10 armor.
Chuck it on Team 1, Grim. Let people have a look at the bounty then, the last 20 seconds. Oh, he's lost his archon. Do they think they can get enough? Do they think they can get enough by doing this?
Here comes the big push. Nukes.
Well, this was a lovely controlled game by...
Look at this. Pause! Exactly at 2 hours. Very nice. Smooth, Frenny. Smooth. There it is. GG. There it is. It looks like a clear bounty win for Wonderthings and Lich. 50,000 they managed to end on to the 30, 45,000, 46,000. Okay, so 4,000 difference is what we ended up with. 4,500 maybe lead. And mostly it's Lith, who I said would suffer. I had predicted he would suffer going Zergling, especially Crackling and not just Chrono Boost Zergling Marine. Managed to hold in there, only 10,000 behind the monstrously dominating team across from them. All referees have disconnected. Never seen that before. Yeah, so good job, Lith. Deserves it, I guess. Like he managed to play a strat, which I considered quite bad, quite well. No support from Wonderthings other than the Ghost play, which was good. But as I say, Phantom Marine with no medevac. Oracle as well. Oracle's like a safe bet. I think he lost them to the Void Prison, but it's a safe bet for farming for yourself, but it doesn't add that much. It can annoy towers and help you get them for your ally, but generally it was like Lith solo playing by himself and managed to get a very good lead, just spamming Marines upgrades. So good job, well played. And yeah, those are your first and second places. Obviously Fluffy and Archvile with the first place.